Let's go!
Yeah!
I got it!
Hello, everybody. You may be thinking, Jello, you're not anywhere on screen, and that's on purpose, because tonight, it's all about our competitors. Welcome, everybody, to the second annual Mario Party AI competition. A stream series where we pit 4 equally matched, usually, AI characters in a Nintendo 64 Mario Party and place our bets to determine who will come out on top in a series of challenges. Today is the qualifier. Our qualifier, of course, begins in the first Mario Party where everything began. To begin with, there will be no items. The only Mario Party that allowed for all items to be either used or unused was this one. To ensure that we have the closest to a controlled environment possible for our competitors, we will be disabling every single item. That means everything will be disabled. And the only thing that can control the way our characters move around the board is their own dice block. Additionally, all characters will be set with the same difficulty level. This, of course, means no one will have an advantage as far as the AI goes, but says nothing about how the characters may execute the game's rules upon one another. We've learned from experience that some characters have a certain bend. We'll see if that strategy serves them today. Before we get started, I would just like to lay down a few ground rules. Because, of course, when you enter any competitive sport of observation, you have to begin by knowing exactly what you're getting yourself into. First things first, if you have not seen this before, this series will be taking place exclusively on Tuesdays on YouTube. This series will not migrate to Twitch. Additionally, if you have seen this series before, you're probably somewhat familiar with some of the rules. Expect those to be shaken up. Additionally, there will be no soft resets. In other words, if a mistake is made within the game, outside of my direct intervention, it will proceed exactly as planned. To that effect, I would now advise you to keep in mind that in the future, you also will have a chance to compete within the chat. The qualifier is designed specifically to let you know exactly what we're up against. The 4 characters selected by nature of the Discord channel are as follows: Peach, Luigi, Yoshi, and Donkey Kong. All AI will be set with a normal skill. And while, of course, I am marked as the playable character for Peach, that will be changed. For all future Mario parties, the characters will be selected in this order. The maps to be chosen for the qualifier can only be from the 1-star variety, which limits us to DK's Jungle Adventure and Mario's Rainbow Castle. Rainbow Castle has the most capacity for controlling one's maneuvers. Therefore, we will select that. The number of turns will always be set at 35 for qualifier, but once we reach past the qualifier round, an average turn will be 50. An average game will be 50. This will be the same regardless of what Mario Party is played. Bonus stars, to my knowledge, are enabled by default, but if that proves not to be the case in this Mario Party, they will not be enabled in any future instances. With that in mind, these are the parameters we've set. Take care to observe how your characters behave, because after the qualifier, and there will be 2 today, you will have the chance to place your bets on who will emerge victorious, and of course, you will gain more information as to the nature of this tournament. If you have questions, concerns, gripes, or moans, take them up with the referee in Discord. And with that in mind, let us begin. My name is Jeloetta, and I will be serving the role of your fancy announcer, occasional reader, and sports commentator, primarily here to make observations and snarky remarks about how the AI could do something even stupider than what I might do in a standard Mario Maker maneuver. I will also be monitoring the chat to make sure that everybody has their questions answered as much as possible, and of course to keep you all well informed. I'm going to skip through this initial dialogue because at the moment I still have a level of control. As a point of fairness, you should all be made aware that I do have to do one A press for Peach's action, which is to decide what roll she gets with the dice block, starting now. The order has been decided as follows. Donkey Kong will roll first, Yoshi will follow, Luigi will go third, and I, or rather Peach, who I have taken the role of temporarily, will finish us up. Everybody collects 10 coins as expected, and that is that. The star in Mario's Rainbow Castle never moves. Keep that in mind, because it may affect the way future navigation is executed. We'll begin by disabling my control on Peach. And now all characters are set at normal difficulty, at which point the game will now play itself. Let's get started. Donkey Kong starts us off with a 7, which is a standard 3-coin roll. It should be observed that there will be no mystery blocks in this version of Mario Party. Yoshi misses the 50-50 chance and will skip his next turn. You can vote for 2 people during the qualifiers, but after the qualifiers you will be required to pick just 1. Our first minigame is Box Mountain Mayhem. This game is actually very straightforward. All you have to do is punch the boxes and collect as many coins as possible. Going in strong is DK. Coin bags to Luigi, no coins to Yoshi so far. Everybody getting knocked around a little bit, but Yoshi is pounding at it with his nose, attempting to make up lost ground. Boxes empty. Everybody pulled away some kind of loot. Donkey Kong cleans up with a solid 23 coins, putting him in a distant first. Yoshi brings up the tail end at the beginning of the first turn and will not be allowed to move. DK rolls a 6, collects 3 coins, and starts off strong. Yoshi remains put, unable to collect coins for this turn. Luigi has begun a 1-player minigame. Please keep in mind that only this Mario Party features 1-player minigames. Teetering Towers. Luigi, being of course a better jumping Mario brother, should in theory find this minigame to be a cinch. He hooks to the right and continues hooking to the right, ignoring the standard path, then hooks left. Luigi evidently was thinking ahead and is aiming for that blue coin bag. And just like that, victory is assured. Luigi cleans up with a polished 15 coins and an excellent starting performance, putting him in a very close second behind Donkey Kong, before the turn even begins for the other characters. Peach pulls a 9 in an effort to counteract her previous low roll, and finds herself able to keep moving, unlike Yoshi, who lost a turn for the act. And with the third turn about to roll up, we enter the second turn's minigame, Balloon Burst, a 4-player free-for-all. Strong out of the gate, we've got Yoshi and Princess Peach putting up the most effort, but DK is not too far behind. Luigi is trying to catch up. He may very well be passing up. Now Donkey Kong has taken the lead by a significant margin, with Yoshi right behind. Peach fallen behind. Evidently, her initial first win was not enough to get her fresh out of the gate. DK does not take home the W. Yoshi pulls a surprise victory, bringing some much-needed redemption to the second turn of his match, and catapulting him from fourth, to third. Alright, chat. Obviously, I've done the announcer act for a little while, and I can keep doing it, and I plan to keep doing it. But tell me about how you guys are all doing. It's the end of Labor Day weekend, we're all heading back into the school week, and I know at least one of you is still confused about just what the heck I'm doing. So talk to me. It's good to hear from you all. But I do have to make a note of the fact that Luigi has just canceled the star space and replaced it with a Bowser space, thanks to his use of the green mechanic, or happening mechanic, which only does one thing in this Mario Party board. Good to hear that you're doing well, Shiny. Good to hear it. We'll now be entering a 1 vs 3 minigame. For those of you who are not aware, a 1 vs 3 minigame in Mario Party 1 has the unique trait of having the ability to take away coins from your opponents. This one, however, will be an exception. Good to hear that you're in good shape, Shiny. Interesting strategy. Peach takes the W. You did tell me about your speedrun. Congratulations on that again, Luke. Mr. Blue, we're doing the preliminary qualifiers for the Mario Party tournament. With Yoshi now in last place, we enter the third turn. Or I think it's the fourth turn. Hold on. Fourth turn, excuse me. And now Donkey Kong can steal for the first time in the game. His target is Luigi, his second place player. A logical choice, of course. Not too many coins to be gained from it, however. Yoshi rolls immediately afterward and has an opportunity to bring some much-needed coinage to his wallet. He immediately picks player 1. Or I should say, player in first. But does not gain many coins for his pains either. Of note, folks, every path leads to the top of the tower, but you do not want to be there when Bowser is standing there. Everyone rolling a standard 3-coin turn, but the person who gets to Bowser first is going to regret it. To answer your question, Mr. Blue, observe the AI characters and determine from their behaviors who you think will win. This is just a qualifier, but in the future, your answer may actually mean something. Tipsy Tourney, a personal favorite minigame of my own, but on which I will have no participation. Each character has a very slow and methodical approach, evidently more focused on doing the outer edges than anything else. DK is the only character— well, no, now Yoshi has joined him in jumping. Finish! But it doesn't matter, because DK has already won. DK has certainly put up a strong performance so far. He's got 58 coins going into just the 5th turn. Yoshi, meanwhile, is straggling along behind everybody else. Luigi having taken the first red space of the day, and Peach the closest to reaching Bowser. Now 1 versus 3 minigame once again. As we enter Tightrope Treachery, also known as how to know who your friends are not. Do they shoot at you while you're walking a tightrope? Luigi's already known for having slippery feet in many minigames, so it'll be interesting seeing how he fares. Alright, first shot hits him square in the nose. Or second shot, actually. As you may notice, the camera is constantly moving. This makes it harder for both characters to move, but it makes it much harder for the boats, who have to accommodate it while simultaneously firing at the character on the tightrope. Luigi is interested in staying straightforward, however, so it seems like he's going to be difficult to shake. Maybe his sense of balance is better than last time. Yoshi is mostly doing circles. He doesn't seem to be interested in actually firing. But then again, none of the characters have very high firing rates. In a moment, it won't matter. Luigi takes home the W without even trying. This will be a net loss of 5 coins for each of his opponents and a net gain of 15 for himself. Which also puts him all the way in second place and bumps everyone 1 position back. And through Donkey Kong's interesting choice, Peach is now the closest to the star. As you all remember, Peach is certainly a character to keep an eye on. She has a tendency to pull maneuvers that you would not expect. Yoshi lucks out, this time actually managing to score a second turn, just in time to land on chance time. This could either make or break Yoshi's fortunes. He begins by picking out the character to give, Donkey Kong, and the character who will receive, Princess Peach. And hands 30 coins off to Donkey Kong, evidently in an effort to support the other animal in his game, and hosing Peach completely out of what would have been a very easy star. With Donkey Kong now at 83 coins, the real question is, can anyone catch up with his coin cash juggernaut? Luigi will subtract 3 coins, and Peach will walk up to the star, only to find out that she hits Bowser on the way up. Now that she's in distant last, the real question is, what happens? Bowser's chance time. It may be a chance for her to score some revenge. By the way, to the 4 of you who are watching this evening, it's good to have you, and I appreciate you taking the time to observe. Sure enough, Peach pulls the revenge card, and while it only hurts Donkey Kong a little bit, he loses 10 coins. Peach suffers no ill effects. Yoshi will be up against everybody else in the next 1 versus 3 minigame, a minigame called Bash and Cash, which is needlessly cruel to the player in first place, and may very well solidify Yoshi's position as dead last. Best of luck, folks. Yoshi's gonna need it. And by that I mean, he's hosed. Every bag of coins Yoshi drops is coins that he does not get to keep in the regular game. Unfortunately, there is no way for him to get any coins. As a result, he has been targeted pretty much with the express purpose of making his life as difficult as possible. Having lost 15 coins with 6 seconds to go, the real question is, can he stop the hemorrhaging? Nope.
Finish!
Take care, Mr. Blue. Thanks for joining in. Yoshi ends the minigame in even worse shape than he was already in, and he wasn't in great shape to begin with. DK takes his sweet time, rolling a 2, just in time for Yoshi to also land on a Bowser space. Perhaps in an effort to avenge himself upon his competitors. Or, in this case, just to lose what money he had left over. Yoshi is now in worse condition than he was at the very beginning of the game. Can he recover? That is debatable. Luigi decides to flip the block once more. Back to Bowser. Perhaps to make it easier for him to encounter the star in the future. Peach will now run smack dab into Bowser. Being in third place means she has no standard immunities. Most likely, she'll lose 10 coins, and that will be it. Putting Peach and Yoshi tied for third with a net score of 0 of everything. Not the best shape to be in. She will, however, gain 10 coins for passing start, a mechanic that is unique once again to the first Mario Party. And then losing 3 by landing on a red space. This triggers a 1 vs 3 minigame, and quite possibly an opportunity for everyone to have some revenge on Donkey Kong's success. So what'd you guys all do for Labor Day? And, you know, the associated weekend with it. Did you guys have fun? I hope you had fun. By the way, if you've joined the chat and I haven't said hello to you yet, it's not because I'm ignoring you. It's possible I just didn't see your message. So please feel free to say hi again if you think I may have overlooked you. DK is hosed. The loss of 15 coins won't mean very much to him, probably. But it is a still fairly decent chunk of change to be short. I knew you did a speedrun. Labor Day stakes. What does that entail? Yoshi also collects 10 coins and ends his turn in okay shape, which I mean, he was already doing pretty terribly, so. Luigi has landed himself a nice meeting with the King of Koopas, which will lost him about 40 coins. And this is how not to win at Mario Party, ladies and gentlemen. DK is now more of a juggernaut than ever, with his 69 coins to everyone else's less than 20. Luigi will collect 10 coins, and then 3 more, and end his turn with 30 at least. That sounds like a good time, Shiny. I'm glad you had a good time. Our next 4-player minigame is Castaways, a coin minigame where characters stand to make a fair chunk of change if they play their cards right. DK is here with Big Brain Plays. Just so you all are aware, this is actually one of the worst minigames I've ever had the misfortune of playing. As you can tell, even the computer is terrible at it. Genuinely. Seriously, whoever designed this minigame, I have some questions, and all of them begin with and end with why. Well, it looks like everybody's got some kind of prize by now. Not much, but still something. Timing these moves is very difficult, and it doesn't help that the control of the physics is, like, next to nil. Genuinely, seriously, this minigame is painful, both to watch and to play. Somebody at Nintendo does love fishing minigames, and I think they need to stop. I think people who develop video games need to realize that the people who play video games never found fishing exciting to begin with. But that's just me. Well, everybody got a little bit of something, but as usual, Donkey Kong came out on top. And with nothing stopping him from claiming the first star, he begins a very, very strong position. And the first star goes to Donkey Kong. Not a bad position to be in, with 3 times as many coins as the character in 3rd place. This will result in dumping him back on start, where he can collect another 10 coins, recouping half the cost of the star, and another 3 for landing on blue. And thus the cycle repeats. Once again, Yoshi loses a turn, demonstrating his commitment to being an abject failure. Now, as an announcer, I know better than to make predictions about who I think will win or lose, but I don't feel great about Yoshi's odds right now. Keep Away, a 4-player minigame where everybody has a chance to succeed, assuming that they can actually get along with each other. I did not know that, Luke, but I'll have to keep that in mind. I don't play a lot of Zelda games. In fact, I don't play any Zelda games, so that's probably why. I wasn't aware. And this key is now in Luigi's hands, and now it's been picked up by the bad guys. Well, we've learned that the AI characters cannot get along with each other well enough to actually complete the minigame on their own. That's a subtraction of 5 coins from everybody involved. DK rolls a 1, apparently interested in taking his time. Yoshi loses his turn, and Luigi opens up with a solid 7. Peach, further ahead than everybody else, decides to roll a 6, putting her square where Boo can talk to her. Naturally, she targets DK, who actually loses a fair chunk of change. For once. Peach now has enough for her own star, if she's lucky enough to claim it. 4-player minigame bombs away. This minigame is designed primarily to induce stress in everybody who watches or plays it. Which is why I'm going to start breathing a lot harder while we play this. Well, Yoshi's the first one out, which really shouldn't surprise anybody at this point. DK is the second one out, which actually does surprise me a little bit. The real question is, will the minigame be a draw? Peach and Luigi seem dedicated to making sure that neither of them can come out completely on top, partially by crowding each other. But Peach was stunned for a moment, and the verdict is a 2-way win for Peach and Luigi. That lands them both a solid 10 coins, putting them within spitting range of Donkey Kong's current record. Yoshi, meanwhile, has finally figured out how to roll a dice block. Not well, mind you, but he has learned. Luigi follows up by rolling a much higher dice block and branching off to the right. He faked even me out. He collects 3 coins for doing so, and his turn ends. Peach readies herself with a single-player minigame, hoping to buff her current coin hash. It's time for Memory Match, also known as the minigame where the AI will continue to fail right until the timer runs out, just to make it look like they actually don't know what they're already doing. However, I will observe that a few times the AI has actually lost this minigame entirely on purpose. Well, she found the bad piece. Now she just needs to not do that. And this is what I mean about how the AI just fails this minigame a lot. They already know where all the pieces are, but they don't actually jump on any of them. They go off and do their own thing for reasons I can't fully understand. However, there will still be some coins gained from this fiasco. It's just the least convenient way they could have possibly done it. I don't know if it gets better when you put them on hard difficulty. Peach gets 6 whole coins and her turn ends. And in the process of ending her turn, ends the entire turn, putting DK in the unfortunate position of 1 versus 3 minigame. To the 5 of you who are watching, by the way, if you are not familiar, yes, this qualifier is going to lead into a more intense competition down the road, the rules of which will be hashed out in the Discord server later on. But I figured we should start with the stream first. DK has the opportunity to collect a lot of coins. The question is, will he play it to his advantage? As the person on the flower, he has the ability to influence very strongly the flow that the rest of the coins observe. But if he gets too greedy, he could just fall clean off. In reality, though, many of the coins drop so close to the center that his hitbox allows him to claim the majority of them without even having to try. And as a result, he finds himself in a much, much richer position than he already was in. The final tally comes to 31 coins for DK and a pittance for everybody else. DK rolls a 6 and ends his turn at the fork in the road. Yoshi rolls a 9 and immediately turns left, presumably headed in the direction where he will also be able to steal. Luigi readies us for another one-player minigame. He's already shown that he can excel once before, but can he do it twice? The stakes are high, folks. He stands to win 10 coins and lose 5. For the record, I always found this minigame rather challenging myself. The AI has demonstrated that they are apparently not interested in winning this one at all. And that is how you lose 5 coins live on the internet. Clearly, Luigi never bothered to look into what a ghost call was. Princess Peach rolls a solid 6, which puts her on the same trajectory as Luigi, but not close enough. It's been a while since I played Luigi's Mansion. Now you guys are making me feel nostalgic for that game. Well, the third one. I haven't really played the first one, but I should probably do that eventually.
Ready? Go!
Alright, Peach is off to a bad start, but out of the races, the rest of them are starting off strong. Yoshi leading at the beginning by a very slim margin. He spins out, putting Luigi in the lead. Luigi's barely holding himself together, but he's doing it. Donkey Kong right on his tail. Peach and Yoshi working to catch up, but Luigi giving them just enough leadway to make it so that it'll be very difficult for any of them to catch up with him completely. And he takes the W with a solid 24th and 30 record. 10 more coins for the green plumber as we proceed to the next turn. Donkey Kong aims left, presumably with the idea of stealing, since, well, anybody in their right mind probably would on this board. His target will be Luigi, continuing the grand tradition of picking the character closest in him to rank. For the process, he gains a whopping 7 coins. I believe it was 7. Breaking 100 coins at the end of his turn. Yoshi, for his part, hopes to bring it back under that total. From distant 4th, he aims at Donkey Kong and sets his sights. The result? A loss of exactly 10 coins for Donkey Kong. Yoshi finishes his turn with 35 coins. A respectable number, perhaps, early in-game, but downright embarrassing now. Luigi's Mansion all over again. You guys are great. Now it's time for a round of Facelift. Facelift, also known as the minigame where you spend a lot of your time defacing Bowser's face in an effort to score points. That's right, folks. It's essentially vandalizing sculpture.
Star.
This is one of the minigames that actually will be replicated in the Mario Party Superstars game that I believe is launching later in October. Such fine takes, such interesting interpretations, such nuanced turns, twists, and tweaks. With 5 seconds remaining, which artist will prove to be the top? Stop your sculpting. And the winner is... Yoshi. Perhaps in an effort to show he is not an abject failure, Yoshi pulls out 10 coins and ends the turn. Donkey Kong rolls a 9, presumably out of frustration, putting him near the rest of the pack. Yoshi, for his own part, rolls an 8, putting him in decent shape for the pack. However, as Bowser is currently the one occupying the star space, it is not a great idea for anyone to rush up there. With Peach closest to Bowser, the next turn begins without much event. Skateboard Scamper. Skateboard Scamper is a very straightforward title. All you have to do is race for your life. The real question, however, is could any of us do this in real life? And for that matter, why on earth would we want to? With the racers tied fairly close to neck and neck, it looks like DK and Yoshi have a nose on the competition. I'd apologize, but I'm not sorry. Every character collects their 5 coins. Peach is way in the back. It can't be easy doing that in a dress. Now Donkey Kong taking the rear, with Luigi and Yoshi both fighting for it. As we enter the final stretch, the winner is... Yoshi once more. Yoshi clinches another victory, landing himself a solid 15 coins and finally moving out of dead last. With 63 coins mid-turn, it looks like maybe, just maybe, Yoshi has woken up. Speaking of waking up, Yoshi has also made the decision to turn Bowser away to Toad. It's time for yet another chance time space. This may very well shake up everything there is to see about the game. The recipient this time has been chosen as Donkey Kong, the giver as Luigi, and the result is that Donkey Kong must give Luigi 10 coins. Perhaps less exciting than we'd hoped for, but enough to make Donkey Kong remember that holding 100 coins is a good way to get a target painted on your back in this game. With everyone so close to the star, the real question is who will take it? Peach rolls 2 consecutive 1s, ensuring that she will not be the next person to claim. And now we enter a round of buried treasure. Copyright claims. There's a thorny issue. And now we see everybody dig through the turf, in a game that should be fair, but in reality is anything but. Yoshi has ignored the arrow, and Peach has already collected the 10 coins just by pointing up and left. And that, folks, is how you know a video game has been rigged. And I didn't even have anything to do with it. This will put Peach in second place, and Yoshi remains in last, as he has been for quite some time. Donkey Kong rolls a 5, not high enough to bring him to the star. Can Yoshi get what he wants? Just barely. Through some impeccable timing, Yoshi scores the second star of the game. What he lacks in coins, he makes up for in long-term strategy. But will it pay off? We shall see. Bowser, meanwhile, will be standing by to greet the next player who comes close to the tower's top. Yoshi finishes up by grabbing 10 coins and landing on a blue space. A solid finish, considering he was in dead last to begin with. Luigi will be the unlucky duck who once again, I believe, will be facing Bowser. Another 40 coins down the tubes. And he again wonders why it seems that the entire universe dislikes him. It's true what they say, folks. It's rough to be Luigi. He recoups 10 of his coins immediately, and then proceeds back onto the board, flipping the block once more so that Toad will not greet the next player, perhaps in an effort to secure vengeance for his own misfortune. Peach will be the next to follow up, but her low roll ensures that Donkey Kong will likely be the next visitor to Bowser's accursed event. But before then, it's time for a paddle battle, a 1 versus 3 minigame where you get stabbed a lot. Welcome to the chat, False Plant King. Welcome to the chat and the initial qualifier of the Mario Party AI competition. Luigi loses 3. His opponents lose 3. Luigi loses 3. His opponents lose 3. Score remains even. Nobody scores at all. The game nearly breaks itself. Luigi loses 3. And immediately makes sure that his opponents do the same. Luigi loses 3.
Finish!
And thus the minigame concludes with Luigi 3 coins poorer. Whoop-tee-flipping-do. Good to have you in the chat. We're watching the initial qualifier, so keep an eye on things. You may learn something from their strategies. Donkey Kong finds himself in the unfortunate position of facing Bowser with 1 star and 96 coins. What does this mean? Well, essentially that he's hosed. That's 40 coins down the tubes. He does get to keep his star, however, which, you know, under the circumstances, he could have done worse. In a strange upset, this briefly puts Yoshi in first. I say briefly because then he gets 10 coins immediately. Hello, Higgins. Welcome to the Mario Party qualifier. We have quite the show. Yoshi has gone from dead last to a close second, while Luigi has continued to exact vengeance upon those who intentionally or unintentionally hose him over. We have not placed any official bets, but that sort of thing is anticipated. Of all 4 characters to face this entire event, only Yoshi got away with an actual star so far. Peach will also lose 40 coins, leaving Bowser with a fairly nice cleanup of 120 coins all on his own. Just from those 3. She still ranks better than Luigi, though, because as I mentioned previously, it's rough to be Luigi. Welcome to chat, Jello Jam. It's good to have you all here. For those of you who missed the memo, we're playing a Mario Party qualifier. There are no items, and only the characters are set at normal level. They can all do what they want to, and I have no influence over it. We're trying to figure out who is the best, because after the initial qualifiers, we'll start placing bets on who we think will turn out victorious. It looks like DK is going to win this minigame, though. He won it last time, so I wouldn't be altogether surprised. Good to have you in the chat, Beeg.
Finish!
DK pulls the W once again. Donkey Kong has put up a strong performance, but his fortunes have changed rather drastically in the last couple of turns. Case in point. With nobody too close to the actual star right now, it looks like Luigi may have an opportunity to steal some coins from the player in first, who will by default be Donkey Kong. Interestingly, if either of them chooses to select a star, there is a lot of money to be lost. I am not physically appearing in tonight's stream because we wanted to place our focus on the characters. So I am providing the role of commentator while our AI folk duke it out to determine which among them is the best. Looks like it's time for a round of Bowser's Facelift. This is a rough minigame. If you don't win this, you stand to lose a lot of coins. 90 points is not easy, even on normal skill. We're not entirely sure why Bowser wants you to deface his face, but he does. So you gotta do what you gotta do. As each of our impromptu artists struggle to put together a sculpture that will win them a good point, keep in mind that the losers stand to lose 20 or maybe even 30 coins. This would be the equivalent of, like, having your lunch money stolen for not being able to portray your bully as ugly as possible.
Finish!
And the final score is one winner, Donkey Kong. Everyone else loses 30 coins, putting DK back in a distant first and worse in a position where he could easily steal Yoshi's star, with Yoshi having no ability to defend. It's not looking good for Donkey Kong. Or I should say for Yoshi. Thank you for remembering the secret handshake. This minigame could be chaotic.
Star!
As a child, this one used to give me anxiety. Now as an adult, it just gets on my nerves. I predict that Yoshi and Peach will take a thwomp to the face. Or not. With our competitors evenly scored, the question is who will come out on top. And the victory goes to Donkey Kong and Luigi. Or not. Or so. Yep. Which subtracts another 10 coins from Peach and Yoshi's totals. It seems that for all of Yoshi's plotting ahead, Donkey Kong could very easily steal his star and put a significant bump in his own lead. An unfortunate position for Yoshi to be sure, but not one that he has much control over anymore. For his own part, he chooses to ignore stealing altogether, probably realizing he can't steal a star even if he wants to. Peach, on the other hand, is more than interested in game-sanctioned theft. And will take as many coins as she reasonably can, which in this case is about 15. This also gives her an opportunity to score another 10 coins. through one of the more terrifying minigames in Mario Party. Pedal Power. Light up the room before you get caught by Boo by rotating the control stick so fast that Nintendo will actually face a lawsuit. For the record, I think there are more efficient ways to light up a light bulb, but this is just me spitballing. I'm not saying I could do it better, but I feel like I could. Peach pulls the victory. Not bad, again, considering she's wearing a dress. This gives her 10 coins, which puts her ahead of Luigi. So if you're just now catching up, we want to find out who wins, and the best way to do that is for me to stay out of the way. That's why you can't see me, but you can hear me. I have to agree with you, False. That seems like a... Boy, that's a sentence I didn't expect to say out loud. But I have to agree with you. That does not look like something that would be a lot of fun to do. Interestingly enough, it would appear that half of the characters have decided to go one way around their sculpture, and the others have decided to ignore it. Yeah, I feel like using Flash would probably be a more efficient methodology as well. Yoshi's done a reasonably clear sculpting, but let's see who comes out on top. Yoshi by a long shot, as a matter of fact. But everyone else wins except for Luigi. Because, again, Luigi. That's 10 coins for everybody. With Donkey Kong in such a strong position, it looks unlikely that Yoshi will be able to retain his star. Let us discover whether or not Chance Time throws things out the window.
Showtime!
Donkey Kong chooses that his first object will be to make Luigi the recipient and himself the giver, and to steal Luigi's 20 coins, because even if Luigi's in dead last, why not stomp on him even harder? An unfortunate position for for Luigi, but a very fortunate one for DK. Yoshi, meanwhile, has already moved on to pursue, presumably, his next star. Luigi will be lucky if he can get his coin count to stay above 20 for more than one turn at a time. And thus we enter our next minigame, Coin Block Blitz. This is an interesting minigame because the player who is already holding... Oh, actually, hold on. I'm getting that mixed up with something else. This is a good opportunity for anybody, actually.
Start!
And everybody immediately goes for that block. Interesting choice. Luigi appears to have the nicest block so far. DK wants Yoshi's block, but Yoshi's not having it.
Finish!
And it seems like everybody comes out with a little bit of something. And now it's time for the opinions of the chat. Based on your current performance, chat, who do you think is going to take the win? Keep in mind, you will not be held to this analysis, but let's hear it. Who do you think's got the W so far? And naturally, Yoshi loses a star to Donkey Kong. An unfortunate position for Yoshi, to be sure. The overall vote remains to lean towards Donkey Kong. Fair assessment, considering that his strategy so far has seemed to work out the best, with a solid combination of minigame wins and skillful steals. And thus another turn concludes as a 4-player minigame, this time Musical Mushroom. DK appears to be the crowd favorite, I always thought it was interesting they added a 30-second timer for this musical chairs minigame. Once again, Donkey Kong comes out on top. DK is not here to play games. He is here to win. Which is a little ironic, but we'll ignore that. DK has done a lot to turn his fortune around over the last few. Now he has a chance to win a slot machine, which is not exactly the easiest thing to do in Mario Party. Of course, that makes me think about the fact I'm going to be in Vegas in 2 weeks. I'm sure that had nothing to do with this. DK nearly pulled a victory, but at the very end, he lost. Not a whole lot you can commentate on a minigame like that, but at least he has no penalty. And with that in mind, Yoshi moves. Starless. He aims to roll for another dice block, and loses his turn for the 3rd time this minigame. Or I should say this game. Luigi, meanwhile, seems interested in creeping up upon the star's location without actually going up to where Bowser can see him. At his current trajectory, though, it looks like Luigi's gonna lose his coins once more. But first, another round of facial defacement. And it is for this minigame that I will briefly take my leave. I shall return momentarily. Please stand by while the game continues.
Start. Finish. Start.
Thank you for bearing with me, and apologies for the brief absence there. It seems that Peach is racking up coins, and yes, I did notice that poor Luigi had somehow found a way to hose himself even more than he already had been. At least he's consistent. This minigame, incidentally, if played properly, can get you a score of plus 30 coins. It's a pretty easy minigame to win, even if you're not trying that hard. 24, though, is still a respectable takeaway. Congrats to Peach. Keep in mind, folks, that for this qualifier, only positions 1 and 2 will be counted, and they will be brought into the next Mario Party. So if your character does not rank at least 2nd or higher, they may not make it into the final qualifier at all. Or the 2nd qualifier, I should say. Everybody pile onto that blue mushroom. This this minigame, incidentally, has always been one of the more fun ones, I think, in the collection. Luigi is the first one out because, well, why wouldn't he be? And thus we move on to the next portion. The black mushroom, which is an easy win for at least one character. Everyone barely manages to get on. And then it's Yellow's turn. Yoshi chokes at the very last second, disqualifying himself from the competition. Between Peach and DK, the flag is raised, and Peach takes the W. Breaking her score of 100 coins. Peach now is the wealthiest character in the game, but with 2 stars both on DK's back, it seems difficult to imagine her pulling out an immediate victory. That being said, there's still more than 10 turns remaining. Let us not make any assumptions. So, to clarify my earlier comment, if your character ranks 1st or 2nd, that means they've made it out of the qualifier. The remaining characters will be put into the next qualifier round with characters who were not selected for the initial qualifier this evening. And only the top 2 ranking from those will be allowed to compete in the forward-going competition. It means it looks pretty good for DK here to stay in the game. Interesting jump, but he's in the clear. That model looks really strange. 11 coins. It's looking good. Yoshi makes his way towards the direction of the star, but first, a pit stop at chance time. This may be his opportunity to regain his stars from Donkey Kong. But let us see if he's intelligent enough to think that far ahead, and of course, bright enough to time it that well. With Luigi once again being involved, and Donkey Kong for some reason, Yoshi just decides to throw full chaos into the mix and take 30 of DK's coins and hand them off to Luigi, out of sheer spite, perhaps, but it works. This now puts Luigi in a reasonably wealthy position, even in still being in last place. Granted, a better strategy might have been to try to take the stars away, but you can only do so much.
Whoa!
Luigi returns the favor by hosing Yoshi over by jumping onto a space that triggers Bowser's event. Yoshi's chances of actually securing a star just went down significantly. An unfortunate position for him. Oh, what, you guys think I just make all this stuff up as I go along? I mean, facetious half the time, that's exactly what I'm doing. But no, there is a level of intentionality to all of this. Well, Luigi's walking the tightrope, and once again it seems that nobody can actually hit the broadside of a barn.
Miss.
Strike that, reverse it. This time Luigi does not pull out the W, and instead gives up 5 coins to everybody else. Unfortunately, Yoshi still stands to be hosed. Unless DK manages. Yoshi had better brace himself. This is gonna sting. It seems it is his turn to meet with the Koopa King. Oh well. That will put Yoshi in distant last. Quite the turnaround of fortune from his position just a few slots ago. What else can you do? That's the way the cookie crumbles. Between Luigi's misfortune and Donkey Kong's strategic play, Yoshi did not have much of a chance. But he did get 20 coins, so he's in slightly better shape than he might have expected to be in. Even with all of that, he still finishes his position in third. Luigi seems interested in triggering 1 versus 3 minigames, for reasons that I'm not entirely sure I understand. Peach, meanwhile, so far the quiet character on the roster, has decided not only to absorb a massive amount of wealth, but to take her existing funds and purchase her first legitimate star of the game, putting her comfortably in second place, and in a very strong position to usurp DK in first. Just goes to show you, folks, you can't underestimate Princess Peach. You can underestimate Luigi all day long, he stinks. Speaking of which, now's his opportunity to show that he actually does know what he's doing by playing Pipe Maze. In this minigame, he has control of where the treasure chest goes. It's about the only decision he gets to make, but if he plays his cards right, he'll get 10 coins. If he doesn't, he'll give it to somebody else. It's borderline impossible to tell where it's going to go at any given time, so realistically, it's not like you actually have a whole lot of agency in deciding what happens, but, you know, it's good to pretend. Instead, he gave the money to DK, because why wouldn't he? Hey Noodlebread, welcome to the chat. We're currently running qualifiers to determine who will compete in the Mario Party AI tournament. As we enter the last 10 turns, DK spins the block, summoning Toad, and putting himself in a position to claim a star. Yoshi, for his own part, decides to take the roundabout path and aim left, presumably to try and score some coins, or maybe even a star for his pains. Luigi rolls a 3, or rolls for 3 coins, and ends his turn. Peach, not having any of Donkey Kong's nonsense, flips the block back to make it so that once again Bowser will be the one facing him down. And now we enter another 1 versus 3 minigame, this time Tightrope Treachery. Can a plumber, a dinosaur, and a princess outgun a tightrope walking gorilla? I have my doubts, but DK does have the most gangly looking figure here. It's always a little hard to tell where those hitboxes are. Evidently, they're much more aggressive than they were when Luigi was on that rope. But the question is, will it actually pay off? With DK's iframes repeatedly saving him from any serious blowback, it looks like really all he has to do is maintain a straight line.
Miss.
You'd think by now I would know better than to say stuff like that out loud. Subtract 15 from DK's total and hand it out to everybody else. My folks, that is how this works. However, he does have an opportunity to bring himself some wealth if Donkey Kong plays his cards properly.
Showtime.
If he plays them improperly, however, who knows what could happen. Luigi, once again getting involved in chance time for reasons over which he has very little control, and Yoshi will be taking 20 coins from Luigi. An interestingly karmic response to the fact that Luigi earlier hosed Yoshi out of 40 coins. It looks like he'll be paying that price personally. I'd say I feel sorry for him, but I don't, because personally at this point I'm ready to see Luigi die. Game-wise, you know. The amusing side effect of this? Yoshi will probably use those 50 coins to steal Donkey Kong's star. Which was his star to begin with, so can you really blame him? This puts Yoshi in third, not comfortable third, but in third, and puts Peach in first, a position she has not had for the whole game so far. Luigi loses another 3 coins by landing on another red space. Peach gains 3 coins by landing on a blue space, and another 1 versus 3 minigame begins. Anyone else seeing a pattern here? Could somebody please bring the announcer snacks? I'm hungry. It's hammer time! Oh gosh, I wish I hadn't said that out loud. Luigi has quite the opportunity for easy change if he plays his cards properly. Possibly. Somehow Yoshi did not get those coins. Peach is now going to beat everyone with a hammer. Or maybe nobody will. That was the most chaotic version of that we've ever seen. That's probably true, Higgins. I think that's an accurate summary of everything Boo does. And so, as a result, almost nobody got any significant coins from that particular minigame. Now Donkey Kong finds himself face-to-face with a Koopa King for the 2nd time in the game. An excellent opportunity to get hosed. Amusingly, this will temporarily put him in 3rd and bump Yoshi into 2nd. Just goes to show you, folks, you can be on top of the world 1 turn and royally hosed the next. He'll gain 10 coins from passing start. And then stand where Peach was standing. Yoshi, for his part, is interested in low rolls, possibly in regaining some of the wealth that he's lost over turns. Keep in mind, I never told anybody that they would be held to their decisions, but how does everyone still feel about Donkey Kong as the winner? He was the crowd favorite just a few turns ago. Is that still true, or have things changed? It's Luigi's opportunity to bowl over his opponents. Let's determine just how well he does. We've still got one person who feels that DK can pull out the W. We'll see if that enthusiasm carries over.
Finish!
Amusingly, he managed to hit everyone that wasn't Yoshi. That's an almost oddly specific kind of maneuver. But the side effect is that Luigi gets 11 coins and Peach and DK both lose 5. Yoshi preps himself by rolling a 6, which puts him squarely on top of another +3. Luigi's approaching the star very, very slowly. Peach, for her part, is interested in looping around and ignoring her opportunity to steal from her opponents. Instead, she would rather claim an opportunity at 10 extra coins. All she has to do is punch these blocks, but we'll see how well that goes. Not a bad position. She gets 10 coins. Peach has pulled some interesting maneuvers, but her lead is driven mostly by coins right now. Can she manage to stay on top? Let's observe a round of treasure divers and see just how well these characters have adjusted to their mini swims. Step 1. Try not to get run over by a shark. Step 1 failed. Twice. Well, looks like Luigi and Peach brought some treasure. Yoshi has finally done the same. Not much, but a little bit. Interestingly enough, you lose any treasure chest you're holding if you get zapped. So these characters could probably benefit a lot more by walking in something other than a direct straight line. Still, Yoshi strategized using his iframes. I gotta give him credit for that. And the verdict comes back with everybody getting some loot, but just how much and who? Well, Luigi, oddly enough, pulls out the most. Perhaps he does have something up his sleeve. With Yoshi in third, but just by a thread, this is still anybody's game. But first, Luigi has landed on chance time. This may be his opportunity to shake things up entirely. Perhaps just to spite me for constantly mocking him throughout the minigame, or throughout the minigames and other rest of the game. DK, Yoshi, and Yoshi must give up 10 coins, putting DK in a slightly more distant second place, and Yoshi further back. We'll see what happens next. Peach, for her part, rolls a decent 7, landing right where Yoshi was standing, and another minigame is triggered once again. It's time for a round of bombs away. As I mentioned, that minigame that is very stress-inducing. Again. Yoshi did not do well in this minigame last time, so this is his chance at redemption. Peach and Luigi won last time, so this is their chance to keep their decent leads going. It seems like everybody's kind of crowding each other. Luigi is out. As a veteran, he will not be taking the W for this match. Yoshi, on the other hand, will not either. With Peach and DK just barely holding it together, can the board hold still long enough for them both to win? It sure can. 10 coins for the monkey and the princess. Beauty and the Beast, folks. Not exactly the story we were hoping to hear, but you know, you do what you gotta. We're down to 5 turns, and the standings are as follows. Now is your time, folks. If you've changed your mind about the winner, now's your opportunity. Keep in mind that, once again, there's no actual requirement here, but Yoshi will get no bonuses as a result of his actually being selected. It doesn't work like that for him. But the game thinks that Yoshi will take home the W. Now Donkey Kong will steal a star, focusing on Peach this time, which by default puts Yoshi in second place. The rest of DK's money is now long gone. But if you can hold on to those 2 stars, he may take the W home by default. Yoshi rolls a 9 and takes the shorter path, landing him in front of Toad and claiming a star of his own.
Yeah!
This puts Yoshi in a decent position as well. With 2 stars on both first and second in play, and a difference of only a matter of coins between them, this really is anybody's game now. Yoshi will claim 20 coins, and end his turn with a solid 30, putting Yoshi in first place for the first time in a long time. Luigi, meanwhile, well, I think we could safely conclude Yoshi won't be coming to the... Luigi will not be coming to the second qualifier match. I think we can say that with some safety. Basically, Luigi is in deep trouble right now. As Yoshi demonstrated earlier, when you're holding this suit and people are smacking you with a hammer, it's not a great place to be. You seem to be doing a better job than Yoshi previously did. Possibly by more strategically placing his movements. Maybe. Well, he's still gonna lose some money, but not as much as we thought he would. Well, I take it back. Yeah, he's host. That's 15 coins out. Luigi just can't handle it. Not a great spot to be in, folks. What are you gonna do? Oh, by the way, at the risk of sounding like a totally shameless self-promoter, if you're enjoying this, go ahead and leave a like. So I know. And so we can maybe... And so I can keep that feedback in mind for future entries. Alright, now it's Mario's turn to walk the tightrope. All that fun stuff, you know. Everybody's got to do it eventually. Oh, did I say Luigi? Mario's? Mario's not even playing. Why did I say Mario? Oh, that's ridiculous. Well, chat, I don't know. Luigi seems to be doing okay, but he's getting hit in the head with a lot of these things. The question is, can he walk in a straight line? He keeps taking cannonballs to the face. I'll admit I'd have a hard time walking in a straight line if somebody hit me in the face with a cannonball. That would make my life significantly more difficult. I'm just gonna say it. He's had one victory under his belt and one failure. The question is, can he pull off a third? Will his second round end in success or failure? So far, though, it looks like it's going to be a success.
Finish.
Congratulations to Luigi. He got a redemption round. That's 10 coins. Or 15, I should say. Subtract 5 from everybody else. Not a bad spot to be in. Not bad at all. DK pulls out 6 coins, and Yoshi, fresh at the beginning of this checkpoint, rolls a nice, solid, lost turn again. At least he's consistent. Luigi, on his part, is gonna get hosed over by Bowser again, because, well, you know, it's his turn to do that. Luigi has not won a single legitimate star, and evidently probably is not going to. But that puts whoever's next in a good spot to talk to Toad, and at least Luigi gets 20 coins for his pain. Well, 26. Peach, for her own part, lands on Chance Time, which gives her an opportunity to really mess things over. Let us determine what happens.
Chance time.
Her choice to get people involved is Donkey Kong, Yoshi, and to make DK give Yoshi 20 coins. The interesting side effect of this decision, of course, is that I don't know if DK even had 20 coins. But it puts Yoshi in a more secure position as far as being in first place goes. And it makes for an interesting way to close one's turn. And now it's time for another round of Buried Treasure, or as I like to call it, Rigged, the minigame. The question is, where will the treasure chest be this time? And the answer is... nowhere to be found so far. Peach has an interesting digging method. Luigi has gone almost straight into the shale. Now Peach and Yoshi are just gonna fight with each other. Yoshi ignores the block, and the coins go to Peach anyway.
Finish.
I would like to make some kind of sarcastic comment about this, but I don't think anything would be sufficient. 10 coins to the princess as we proceed into the last 3 turns. DK rolls a solid 10, putting him in a position to get close to where Toad is hanging out, but not in a position to actually get the star. Yoshi is not going to budge. Luigi, for his part, decides to roll a 7, which puts him in a position to lose 6 coins. And Peach, well, Peach finally gets a chance to claim a star of her own.
Yeah!
This keeps her in 3rd place, but with 137 coins, bonus stars may, if they apply, which I don't recall if they do by default or not, may make all the difference. This also results in dumping her off at the start space, where she'll collect another 20 coins, which fully recoups the cost of her star, and puts her in a good position to put the beat down on Luigi. Except that Luigi's actually got a minigame where he has the opportunity to take coins from them. So, ixnay on what I just said.
Start!
And the verdict is... the shell is live, it's rolling, it's hot, it's curving hard, and... it takes Yoshi out.
Finish!
Yoshi will lose 5 coins, Luigi will gain 5, plus whatever else he knocked over from the other bowling pins. 2 in this case. Not exactly a completely destructive turn, but Yoshi could have had better. DK has 2 coins as he goes up to see 6 coins as he goes up to see Bowser, so realistically, he doesn't stand to lose much anyway. Amusingly, he'll actually finish the turn with more coins just by walking by Koopa Troopa at the beginning of the course. Oh well. Better luck next time, eh, DK? Yoshi finally gets a chance to move. And Luigi follows right behind. Almost literally. Peach, with her 163 coins, also rolls a 4, and rounds it out, so that we get yet another 4-player minigame. Musical Mushroom once more. DK took the W on this last time. Let's find out if he can do it again.
Start!
And the verdict is... well, first we gotta wait for the music to pause at random. Like, you know, right about now. Peach takes the W without waiting for DK to even take a breath. It's almost like Peach woke up halfway through the game and decided now was when she wanted to pull out her victory. But, with that 1-star gap in front of her, can she do it? It's the final turn, folks. Everybody's last gasp at making themselves relevant as we begin the end of this initial qualifier. Yoshi chooses not to steal, instead sliding off to the right. Luigi, on the other hand, doesn't even get an opportunity. And Peach finishes up with an astounding number of coins by landing on the mushroom block, gaining another turn, rolling an 8, and heading where she would be able to steal, but won't. Instead landing on chance time for what could be the last big upset of this Mario Party.
Time!
And the verdict is... Peach and Luigi will be swapping star counts. It looks like Peach's last turn was to hose herself over, solidifying for sure that she will finish in last. An unfortunate way to end one's match. And so we proceed to the next minigame. And we play the same minigame we began with, Box Mountain Mayhem.
Start.
Free coins for those who can claim them. Yoshi, on the other hand, seems to be unable to hit the broadside of a barn. There's a 5-coin bag in play. Yoshi was tempted, but it looked like Luigi took it.
Finish.
And we're set. Everybody claimed a little bit of a prize. And now, folks, we enter the final results. With the most coins granted to Luigi, and the most stars granted to DK, well, our winner is... almost 200 coins. Sure thing. Bonus star goes to Peach. The coin star will also go to Peach. Quite the upset, folks. And this one goes to Luigi. Well, folks, that's 2 stars for everybody. And the winner is... Princess Peach. In a last-minute upset, Princess Peach uses the bonus stars to take the W. Cutscene time! Looks like DK's big brain plays couldn't save him. And so the results of the initial qualifier are that DK finishes in dead last. DK will not be moving on to the next qualifier. Peach will.
Yeah. Peach got it. Yeah.
Congratulations to Peach and to Luigi for somehow pulling off some downright impressive last-minute maneuvers. And now, folks, we enter the second qualifier match, where those who failed the first time get a second chance at redemption. But before we do that, chat, let me check in with all of you and ask how you're doing. And, of course, ask if you're interested in doing another qualifier or would like to wait until next week to pick up where we are leaving off now. After all, it is a Tuesday. I know some of you guys have, like, school and jobs to think about. So if you guys want to push this off until next week, we can. But it was a last-second turnaround. You're right, Higgins. That game could not have been any closer. So what this means, folks, is that Mario, Wario, Yoshi, and Donkey Kong will have a second chance of redemption, and that Peach and Luigi will absolutely be in the future competitions. We've got to vote just to keep it up to next week, so it sounds like that's the direction we'll be going. But the next match will follow all the same rules, so we'll see if DK and Yoshi can pull off redemption, since it seems that Peach was plotting the whole time. Since there's 4 viewers here, and chat is fairly quiet, Shiny, I think your opinion will probably be the one that clinches the result, just so that everybody can get some rest and pick up next time. But hit me up in the Discord if you have any questions or concerns about this, and if you guys enjoyed this, you know, let me know. Leave a comment, say something to me in chat or in Discord or whatever. Obviously, it's been a while since we've done this series, so it's a little bit experimental, but if you guys enjoyed it, I'd be happy to keep doing it. And if not, well, I'd like to hear that feedback too. At any rate, thank you all for hanging out. It was good hearing from you, and I hope you guys stay safe and enjoy the rest of your week. You guys know what I'm going to say next. Take care, stay safe, have fun, and I'll catch you later. Ciao for now.